Geek Claire, the best bite of nerdville on the net, featuring Kit's Corner, Salve, Amiibozo, and Hola, Geek Claire spectator. I was prepared to talk about my insane love for my PS4 and a couple of upcoming PlayStation video games. That's when my enthusiasm tanked faster than Ironheart reviews, which Disney's retconned most of the backstories for the characters, so it's kind of a hot drama mess. Outer Worlds 2 will be the sequel to the multiple award-winning 2019 action RPG of the same name. I really look forward to returning to the colorful Art Nouveau space opera with gritty diesel punk western vibes. In the first game, you're the stranger, a lost colonist that's recently been frosted a la Philip J. Fry. Possibly smarter, potentially less lucky, if, say, you opt to make a few flaws permanent in exchange for an extra perk. But don't get your abracadabra pants in a twist yet. You can bring up to two other AI crew members, each with their own side quests and different dialogue options that might make up for your deficiency. While gathering resources, you and your crew uncover the reasons why the entire Halcyon system is owned by 12 mega corporations and ultimately get to decide its fate. I liked that at any given time, there were a few ways to accomplish missions, and that you could modify the stranger even from mission to mission to suit whatever your preferred playstyle is, say dialogue, combat, or stealth. For me, it was one of the games that made COVID-19 less sucky. Now, I might have felt differently if I was trying to play it on Steam or Switch due to the dreaded COVID release delay, and because both were buggier than a mantis swarm. Despite all that, the first game still managed to exceed Obsidian's expectations and become a commercial success. If you haven't played it yet, you can get a feel for the absurdist dystopian bureaucratic satire and the lampooning of late stage capitalism if you watch Amazon Prime's animated video game anthology, Secret Levels episode, The Outer Worlds, the Company We Keep. I think it's episode 8. The tale of an orphan junk sorter who switches vocations in order to reunite with an anti Cleo's inventor. In Outer Worlds 2, you're the commander. You'll explore the Arcadia system and discover why the colonies are experiencing space and time rifts. Along the way, you'll meet more scienticians and the love child of an anti-Cleo and Spacer's Choice merger. You can enjoy the new tweaks to the game mechanics you're already fond of, as well as new weapons like Throwable. Hopefully, they'll be more like Spectrum vodka model togs and not just broken bottles of Rizzo's lemon slap. When you ask your spectator, unless it's delayed, sometime near the end of this October. Sounds pretty fantastic, right? But you're keen to know why I'm so miffed? Well, it's because it's going to be for the PS5, to which I say, get to sort away, you Microsoft leeches. Law, this is not how you treat loyal players. But wait, there's more. They're heaping anti-Cleo's anti-acid over my caustic burn. Styx 3, Blades of Greed is also coming out this fall. The Styx franchise takes you to a country with warring races and a rich history. It's one of the only original truly stealth series set in the fantasy realm that was first showcased in the PS3 game of Orcs and Men. Granted, compared to the current stealth games, the first third of the franchise might seem a wee clunky now and then, but they're still fun. I thought it was an interesting choice, giving a minor character its own myth arc and backstory. Your Styx, a smart mouthed, sticky fingered goblin assassin, by which I mean you are a goblin, not that you're running around committing goblin genocide. I mean, that not only be racist, it just be downright rude. In addition to the usual sorts of trophies, the in-game medal system gives you different goals to aim for, like 0 kills, no alerts, or like being swift. With a mix of arcane abilities and the fact that you're able to traverse your terrain not just by creeping along the floor but also vertically, it opened up multiple avenues to accomplish tasks, some of which might even use less precious resources. In Styx, Master of Shadows, you're searching the flying tower of Akanash for a missing acquaintance, and you want to yoink the heart of the world free despite a severe case of amnesia. For the second game, Styx Shards of Darkness, you've been lured out of hiding and are being blackmailed into infiltrating the Dark Elf stronghold in Korner. Basically, You've got to crash a secret conference. So far, so good. Who doesn't like a five-finger discount and a little light whacking of some busybody guards, right? Well, in the newest game, Sticks Blades of Greed, you've got your own crew. Your job, swipe the newest irresistible resource. Don't worry, you'll get some nifty new abilities like manipulating time, which, dear spectator, is how I think you'll end up learning about the beginning of the Great War and the formation of the elite orc mercenary troop, the Black Hand. But how the hell would I know how great the Outer Worlds 2 and Sticks 3 Blades of Greed are going to be? Because I don't feel like being pressured into buying a whole different game system or upgrading to a PS5 Pro to find out. Because unless a spectator donates one, the office buys one, or we get sent one to demo gratis, that means I've got to shell out about $1,000 for a PS5 Pro and a separate disk drive, which might be compatible with a small portion of my current flow of physical PS4 game discs. But apparently, not any of the digital PS4 games I've already downloaded. No. I'd have to repurchase those titles for the new system, if they're even available. Then I also have to toast a quick sacrifice to Hermes in the hopes that Sony doesn't remotely remove access. We're looking at you, various Entergram titles and Marvel's Avengers. Let's be honest, they are the villains in this scenario. It's not like those third parties or Sony issued credits, gave refunds, or tried to make amends when they decided to revoke access. That's not even including the hardware that's apparently janky to boot, or having to splash out extra coinage for more terabytes of memory. I haven't even bitched about the double wallet drain of having to buy the physical or digital copy to supposedly own, as well as the cost of keeping up a PlayStation Network account to boot, which feels like being smacked in the wallet twice. Which means, yep, most of the games aren't available offline, even if they're only a single player game. Pucker up for sayonara, smoochies, if you drop your PSN account too, because for all intent and purpose, you're actually only paying loads for temporarily renting them. Don't get me started on MMOs. When their fan base drops because game AI assumes you were supposed to take on villains with a team, but it's just little old you, so you get tromped and lose all your gear and skill points. That's not even taking into account when they lose the licensing and they get the dreaded remote delete, etc., etc. Like, that all blows, and fans keep shifting the blame on COVID delays, etc. But let's be serious for a second here. If you reside in the United States, if you're like me, you're tired of all this frowning winning. Tariffs are the frosting on the already disgusting corporate marmalade sandwich. Sony fans have long memories. They remember how the price would drop after about a year and they could upgrade to the new console without taking out a mortgage. But this year, nearly all of us are furious that there's no backwards compatibility still, nor enough of a new library to even justify upgrading. So we're opting to pass en masse, especially since the PS5 is already obsolete. Until next time, spectators, shadows hide you.